Well, hello there, and welcome to another week's episode of Young with Ram. You know, the series where I answer the questions you posted in the previous comment section of the previous week, Young with Ram. This week is going to be a slightly smaller episode because I'm a little bit of a hurry while I'm doing this video. But I think I will be able to answer most of the questions and most of the things that were posted in the previous Young with Ram comments. So yeah, let's get started. First question is, hey Ram, besides historical accuracy, what characteristics in your opinion would make the ideal flight sim? Would it have combined arms? What era? Etc. Do you have any recommendations regarding future sims? Well, answering the last one, future sims, I don't have any big recommendations. Mostly because, well, my favorite era is World War II. And what's coming about World War II in the future months is Battle of Stalingrad and DCS World War II 2. And the first is developed by the same developers who did IL-2. And the second is made by a team whose head is Oleg Maddox, which was the main lead designer of IL-2. So both are deleted from my list. I mean, IL-2 was for me a horrid experience that spanned years, and I'm not going to even bother even looking at them at all. I don't give my money, and I don't support guys who cheated me for 6 years in a row. As for characteristics that would make the ideal flight sim, well, realistic approach in historical terms. What I mean about this is that, for instance, War Thunder for me could be the ideal game I would love to play, even while not is realistic in its flight model. Only in other words, you can't play something realistic with planes with keyboard and mouse, and with War Thunder you could. However, for me, the emphasis should be placed on historical performances, historical matchups, um, spread of planes by eras, not by whatever performance people bring on the table. I mean, balancing because of performance is always going to cause trouble because it's a subjective measurement of how a plane's worth. First of all, it's not historical, and that for me is already a big red no. But second of all, really, how do you measure a plane performance, and which plane do you decide is going to be in the same tier than other different plane? You could end up with really stupid matchups, as for instance a Jack 3 in tier 3, while a BF-109 F1 is also at tier 3. They don't have even by far the same performance, nor the same historical matchup setup, but they still are tier 3. So people get angry at that, and with a reason, because it's both not historical and not fair, but whatever. The only way to do a fair spread of planes in a World War II game that spans the whole war is by era. 9039 planes in 9039 tier, 9040 planes in 9040 tier, 9041 planes in 9041 tier, 9042, etc., etc., etc. And if you have a plane that's somehow underwhelming, no big deal, just make it more rewarding to fly. If you kill an enemy with that plane, you get a lot of XP and a lot of lions. If you are, however, flying the most powerful plane of the era, you get a big hit on income, and it's very expensive. So if you get shot down, you are going to pay a fortune. And if you kill 10 enemies, you are not going to earn the same as if you kill 2 in the most challenging plane of your tier. That way you would keep people away from the stronger planes and into more balanced planes, and then some people going for the challenge of going for the most limited plane. And even without that, I can tell you. I mean, if you look in my channel, you can see me flying G50s, Henkel 112s. Back when the flight model of the Henkel 112 was absolutely crap. Later on was modified, and now it's better. But even while better, it's still a crap plane. Just for the fun of flying something challenging. I mean, there's a lot of fun in that. You kill something that's heads up over heels better than your plane. Don't you tell me that you don't feel good by flying something challenging and getting kills on better stuff. So people will fly everything, and people will stay away from the most powerful planes because they will get no rewards. If someone wants to advance through the levels and get in-game money and get in-game XP, they want to play with tools that give them fair rewards for killing enemies or for damaging enemies. So no one would play the flavor of the month, like happens right now, because right now it's all about the flavor of the month in War Thunder. So my favorite, my ideal flight simulator, the ideal one would be totally realistic. I mean, total realistic flight parameters, effects, etc. But failing that, and I understand that for a game to be really successful, you want to spread it to a wide public, and hardcore flight simulators are a really small niche in the world of entertaining software. There are very few people compared with the mass public who are interested in something totally realistic from the flight model experience of having to fly because you have to with a joystick, a throttle, and some rudders. So, okay, you can get rid of that, and I don't have a problem with that. And as I told you, War Thunder for me is a good balance between was a good balance between accessibility and historical flavor. And the reason why I quit War Thunder was exactly because I said historical flavor is going away because they are taking it away from the game. So for me, the ideal flight sim for the masses, for making the genre appealing for the mass public, would be something like War Thunder in the control setup with realistic performances, with realistic flight models, and with realistic historical tiering, and balancing by rewards, not by anything else. If a LGG 3 8 have to go up versus 109F4s, that's what you get in the game. The LGG 3 is going to have a hard time versus a BF109F. Of course, it's going to. But whoever is flying the BF109F and kills you is going to get one lion. If you kill someone in a BF109F, you will get 1000 lions. Who wants to fly the LA3 now? Because I would, for starters. So yeah, that would be my ideal game. Something that's accessible for the mass public, because I'm interested in a lot of people getting interested in air combat. Because that would mean that in the future we could get more hardcore air simulators that more people would accept. And that's why I'm really sad for War Thunder, because it was a huge opportunity for making the flight sim genre accessible for the mass public and to get them interested into it and get people starting in arcade battles and then maybe get an interest and move into historical battles and then get a further interest and maybe even moving into full real, getting a joystick, looking at other flight sims, that kind of stuff. War Thunder could have been amazing for that, but sadly it's doing what it's doing. Whatever. Anyway, next question. Oh, well, yeah, well, about would it have combined arms? Yes, because World War II air combat, of course, the era for me is World War II. World War II air combat was all about combined arms. Um, Fighters had to kill bombers because bombers were attacking ground targets. Fighters were also protecting bombers because they had to kill ground targets. So there has to be some kind of ground targets. Player control, not playing control. Well, I don't really care about that. If we are talking about a flight sim, I don't care about driving a tank. Um, or an AA. I mean, there must be some objectives in the ground, in the sea, of course. Combined arms would be important. So yeah, that's it for this question. It's mostly World War II, War of Thunder, control setup, but historical performances instead of the mind-boggling, brutal mess that War of Thunder is, and historical matchups. Yeah, that would be ideal for me. This one is not a question, it's a comment. And the comment goes, I'm playing IL2 Cliffs of Dover for a week now. It's awesome. Don't listen to this guy. This guy is me. COD is the best sim around. Forget War Thunder, try COD, is €10 on Steam, etc. 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 Well, the first thing I have to say is that whatever I say in my videos is my own personal take. So you are free to tell people, try this sim. And yeah, of course, why not? Try it if you want. However, saying not listen to this guy is a little bit sad. I mean, everyone has an opinion and everyone has the right to express it and to be heard. If you don't agree with me, you are free to not agree with me, but don't go saying don't listen to this guy because that's unpolite, first of all, in a comment section of my own channel. That's kind of not the best place also to say that, but that's also not really polite because everyone has an opinion and has a freedom to express it. If I don't think IL2 titles are worth it, I am free to say it and I deserve to be heard exactly the same way you deserve to be heard when you disagree with me. That's the first thing. Second of all, I don't have anything against IL2 Cliffs of Dover, mostly because I have never tried it. And I will never do so. Because it's IL2 Cliffs of Dover. And by IL2, that means it's of a brand that had four previous titles that were a total waste of time, money, and effort on my part. Published under a wrong advert. They were saying they were the most realistic World War II flight sims possible when they were not. And well, I have spoken a lot about IL2 in the past. I have my own reason to hate. Honestly, well, maybe not to hate, but to despise the IL2 brand and whoever was behind it. So I'm not going to say IL2 is good. IL2 Cliffs of Dover is good or bad. I'm not, because I can't. I have never tried it, and I'm never going to. So I never said don't try Cliffs of Dover because I don't know how it is, and I don't care. Simply, I'm not giving my money to those guys anymore. It's the same with IL2 Battle of Stalingrad. It's simply not happening. I'm not paying those guys. Period. It's that. And I'm not playing their game. I'm not supporting them in any way. I'm not playing their game. I'm not doing videos of their game. I'm not buying their game. So even if they give me a free copy, I wouldn't play it because I don't support that kind of guys. It's like that. It's just simply that reason. So I also Cliffs of Dover 10 euros on Steam. Is it worth it? As I said in my previous Jam with Ram last week, for most people probably is. Really. I mean, all I have seen about that game is that it has really great graphics and it's a quantum leap from the previous IL2 series. The problem is again flight models, but there are people who really don't care about flight model. All they care is about immersion and having a beautiful look at their cockpit and to get the joystick and throttle and fly. And from that approach, it's okay. Flight models, I don't know. I haven't tried the game, but I know a lot of people complaining about it as well, which is not new in the IL2 series, but whatever. But I never said don't try Cliffs of Dover. When I did say that, I said that I have my personal reasons not to play IL2. I never told anyone to play or not play that game. Actually, in the last video, you can hear me saying, go for it. If you really want to try it out. I wouldn't, but it's me. I have my personal reasons, which doesn't mean everyone should have them. So next time, please, when you post something that disagrees with me in my comment sections, feel free to disagree. I mean, everyone has an opinion. Not everyone has to agree with me. I'm perfectly fine with that. But don't tell me to shut up. And don't tell me other people not to listen to me. Because first of all, this is not the good place to say that. Just imagine someone walks into your home. You have invited him to take a cup of tea. I don't know, and you are with three other, or four other guys, and you say something that he doesn't agree, and he's in your home, and he tells the other guys, "Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's speaking about." What would you do with that guy? Take him by the ear and kick him out of your house. And that's the thing. I mean, be a little bit polite, and not just polite. Be a little bit open to others' opinions. That you think the game is great doesn't mean I have to think the same. The same that I don't think anything related with IL2 can be good by default. But if you think it is, you are free to think so, and you're free to say so in my comment section. But in different terms, please. Next question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think I hate Facebook? At least make your channel public so people can follow you. Seriously, Ram, why do you torture me like this? Um, First of all, I have no idea how to make a public profile in Facebook. At least I didn't back when I started the channel Facebook. Second, I think it's better to keep it the way it is. Like, really, for several reasons. First of all, allows me for a more direct contact with people. And second, it also allows me to filter a little bit of what's coming in. Um, I don't know. First of all, I don't know how to change it into public, and really, I don't know if it would be worth it. But I, and also, you are not forced to follow my Facebook page at all. Whatever goes in my Facebook page is also related with my video, so you don't have to follow me at all. I'm just suggesting you can follow me on Facebook. Public profile, we'll see. So, right now, I don't think it's worth it. I mean, the channel is not that big. I'm not Jingles. I don't have 100,000 subscribers. Well, he has a lot more than that, but whatever. I don't have so many subscribers that I need a public Facebook account to deal with that. And as long as I can keep things small, cozy, and I mean, focus it on a personal connection with my followers or my viewers, I'd rather do that. It's just because of that reason. Next question. Did you study anything in the university? Oh yes, I did 3 full years of physics science. I changed it because of, well, it's a very long story. But well, I did 3 years of physics, and then I changed it over to computer engineering, which I have a technical degree on. I don't know how it's in English. Bachelor degree? I don't know. Anyway, it's a 3 year university career, and I have a degree on that. I have never worked with anything related with computers anyway, so all I learned in the university about computers I have forgotten. Um, and the 3 years in physics, well, there are some people who ask me if I think I lost my time. Because, well, of course, I spent some years doing starting studies that I didn't complete. However, in that particular case, I don't think I lost my time. I learned a lot about physics, and what I learned on those years has really set me up to understanding a lot of things. I'm a very curious being. Really, I am. Uh, you are going to raise your eyebrows. You are going to look like, what the freak is this guy? A couple of days ago, I was reading about Stephen Hawking and his announcement that black holes don't exist, at least not in the way that he had been, um, well, talking about for 40 years. And I went to Nature, a Nature board. Well, not board, I mean the main page, and I read the article about that, and of course it included a lot of explanations about why now it said that black holes don't exist the way they were thought about for 40 years. And of course, it was all full of physical explanations, quantum physics, the reasons why quantum physics collide with Einsteinian mechanics at the time of defining how a black hole works. And if I didn't have the 3 years in the university that I got, I would have understood nothing. And I would have been left like, what the heck I'm reading? And given how curious I am, I would be really banging my head on the wall because I don't understand why black holes now can't exist. I mean, I'm really curious. I have this itch to know from so many different things. I mean, 2 days ago I was reading about black holes. Today I was reading about medieval England. Not kidding. And I'm currently reading Eric Manstein's memoirs. it's, it's nuts. I just I just span so much things because my attention gets grabbed so fast, and I have this need to know. This I have passion to learn new things, and I really love learning new things. And in what regards to the physics part, I wouldn't I wouldn't be able to. Also, not just about the physics part. All I know about air combat, I have an intuitive grasp on combat tactics because I have the formation to grasp them. I understand the physics underlying behind the air combat, and that's because I have a formation in that sense. So no, I don't think I lost any time in physics. I really am glad that I did those years. I didn't complete the career. I don't care because I have another one, and yep, well, that's what I studied in the university. Next question. Hey Ram, what's your favorite food that you can't get enough of and could have every day if you have the chance? Ooh, difficult one. Well, for starters, I wouldn't have the same food all days because I would get tired of it. Eating the same thing day after day after day after day gets old, and soon you are going to hate what you initially loved. Um, about food, there's a little bit. It's curious because I'm from northern Spain, and there's a very big culture of fish cooking up there. In the Basque Country, well, it has a very big um, fame because it's a some way you can eat really well, but particularly so when it's related to fish food or just fish. Um, so yeah, given that I'm from there, I should love fish, but I don't. In fact, I hate it. And I know the vegetarians are going to look at me in disgust, but I'm, I love meat. I love meat. Really, and it's been a while. I mean, I have my age, and it's been a long while. I have never ever tried anything with meat that I didn't like. So I'm kind of carnivorous. So yeah, I would eat meat every day, but of course that's not really healthy. As for some more particular stuff, I don't know. I love pasta. I love pizza. I love hamburgers. Um, I don't know. I like a lot of stuff, but pasta a lot, and pizza, ooh, a lot. And I actually don't. Okay, this is something I don't do. I don't eat chocolate, but I don't eat chocolate because I'm addicted to it. In a way that is not that I get withdrawal if I don't eat chocolate, but you can give me, I don't know, half a liter ice cream chocolate, and I will eat it, and I won't notice I have done so because it goes in so easily. And the same with the chocolate in packs. You give me a pack of chocolate, I can eat it, and I don't even know I have done it because I eat it so fast. I love it. And it's not the most healthy food. It's not the most healthy thing you can eat in droves. And for the reason that I really don't control myself when I'm eating chocolate, because I can't control myself. You give me 4 packs of chocolate, they are going to be gone in one afternoon. I simply stay away from it as much as I can. Now and then I indulge on myself and I get a chocolate ice cream to, well, reward myself because I have done something right. I don't know, or just for the sake of it. But I stay away from chocolate. I try to, at least. And I successfully do so because I have a pretty strong will of doing things when I want, or not doing things when I don't want. But as for a particular meal, I don't really know. I don't really know. I mean, I like so many things but all of them are centered around meat. If it has fish, I can't eat it. Really, I can't. And I love how is. Oh, I love vegetables, but there's a special one. Oh, I don't know how to say it. Well, hold on a second. I'm going to look for a translation. Asparagus. Asparagus, but not the white asparagus, but the green one. Green asparagus fried with salt with it. Oh, I love that thing. It's so freaking good. Uh, I don't know. I can't really answer this question with a single food or meal. Because simply I like so many different foods. But if you want to eat with me and you want to invite me to your house and invite me to a meal and you want to um, give me get something ready that you know I'm going to enjoy, anything with meat. Yes, and it's going to be a home run, believe me, because I love meat. Next question. Ram. Why lots of German pilots prefer the BF-109 over the Focus 190 when it was clearly a better plane? Well, because pilot opinions is the same as everyone else's opinions. Everyone has one, and everyone and everyone has a different one. Also, because you have to understand that many German pilots learned to fly in combat with the BF-109 and then translated themselves into the Focus 190. Some of them, at least. Some of them started with the BF-109 and stayed with the BF-109 until the end of the war. For instance, Eric Hartmann. Others started with the BF-109 and then did the transition to the Focus 190. And out of those, most of them say that the Focus 190 was an immensely better plane. Others say that the BF-109 felt better. And that just depends on the way the pilot feels his plane and of the pilot's preferences. One of the things that the BF-109 is renowned for and people loved, pilots loved about it, is that they said that the plane fit them like a glove. So it was like wearing the plane. You would get into a very tight cockpit with very strict and very close space, and you would kind of fit into it. And then the plane would feel like an extension of you. It's what, I don't know, people like Harman say, that the plane was an extension of themselves. They could feel the plane in a way that they couldn't with the Focus 190, for instance, because the Focus 190 was a totally different animal. Also, you have to understand that the BF-109 was created as a, I don't know how to say it. Kurt Tank put it as that where specialist fighters of the era were pure breed horses, race horses. His creation, the Focus 190, was a heavy work horse. Because in his understanding, what's desirable in a plane first and foremost is to be easy to maintain on the field, to keep it flying with being as tough as possible and being easy to fly. And the Focus 190 was the best of those worlds because it was both easy to maintain, easy to produce, easy to keep flying, easy to fly, and was a hell of a fighter. So it also had incredible performance. But the BF-109 was kind of more of a pure breed, more of a stylish fighter, more of a performance fighter, if you want. And some people love that. Some pilots, yes, they said they were wearing the plane as a jacket, as a jacket. That they didn't fly the plane; they were one with the plane, and that said feeling was not true with the Focus 190 and has nothing to do with performances and objective reports and performance reports and maneuverability reports. It has to do with the feeling the plane gives you. And believe me, that in a flight simulator you are not going to get because you don't get the feeling of the plane. You are in front of your computer with a joystick, a throttle, or mouse and keyboard, or whatever. You don't feel the plane. But when you are actually flying the plane, you can feel the plane. And this is coming from someone who has flown several times. You can feel the plane. I mean, really, you do. So planes that feel like you are part of, obviously, are going to be loved. And planes that is like you are forced to make it move, people are going to hate. And yeah, why pilots prefer the BF-109? Well, some of them did. Others prefer the Focus 190. And it's down to how they felt with the plane. Because some people would feel better with the BF-109, some people would feel better with the Focus 190. Uh, it was never related with the actual performance of the plane. If you ask the pilots, or you can't ask many of them nowadays, sadly, because most of them have passed away. But if you read what they said about the planes, it's mostly related with the way they felt about the plane. They never go around in very few cases they go mentioning top speeds or accelerations over time, that kind of stuff. But you are never going to hear a pilot, a World War II pilot, remembering that he was turning 180 degrees in 7 seconds. No, he would say the plane felt good in turning. It's all very subjective. It's all very feeling related. And that's one of the reasons why I say that pilot anecdotes and pilot histories is not a good base to. It's not objective. I mean, those are subjective memories, and they are not good to give an objective opinion about a plane performance. That you can get from an engineering view at the plane. You can see how much power it had, how much wing area it had, how much it weighed, um, how the controls were set up, which exactly did it have trim tabs, um, did it have any special kind of power, emergency power injection, that kind of stuff. That's an engineering look at the plane. But looking at a plane in numbers, power, wing area, weight, you don't get the feeling of the plane. You don't know if the plane is going to feel good. However, listening to a pilot, you can't really get an idea on actually how fast or how fast climbing or how all that was a plane. You would get the feelings, but not the performance. And looking at the engineering report, you get the performance, but you don't get the feelings. So the best way to understand a plane is to both. To look at it from an engineering point of view, and then from a feeling point of view. Which of course come from the pilots, giving experiences about them. So my personal opinion is that the Focus 180 was majorly superior to the BF-109. However, pilots, some pilots would disagree with me because I'm not a combat pilot of World War II. I didn't have to fly there. So for me, the feeling, I don't know the feeling of the B109, I don't know the feeling of the Focus 180, the actual feeling of being inside the cockpit. So for what for them made the planes great, maybe I simply don't get it because I don't have that experience. And that's why you will hear people swearing on their grandmother's grave that the P38 was the best fighter ever, while others who flew the P38 and then moved on to the P47 say that the P-38 was a piece of crap and the P-47 was much better. And then you will have people who flew the P-47 and then the Mustang and say the Mustang was better. And then you have the people of the, I don't know, the same case group that were the only group in the American Air Task Force who kept their P-47s on their own demand because they loved the plane so much and they thought the P-51 had nothing to do against a P-47. I mean, a Mustang had nothing to do versus a P-47, and they wanted their Thunderbolts. They didn't want a Mustang. So, pilots, and preferences has nothing to do with performances. Has nothing to do. It all has to do with the feeling they have with the plane. It's all about that. Next question, final one because I'm running out of time. Hey Ram, if I get my knockout in realistic and I'm trying to glide home to my airfield and I can't tell if I'll make it or not, should I use my combat flaps for extra lift or will that just slow me down? When you are gliding, what you want is to have as clean as aerodynamic shape as you want and as you can. Adding flaps of any kind is going to add drag and it's going to make you a worse glider. So in order to glide back to an airfield without an engine, what you want is to establish a nose-down attitude of some degrees that more or less keeps your speed steady at around, well, the faster the better, of course, but you don't want to go under 250 kilometers per hour if possible, because under that speed area of angle of attack starts increasing and induced drag starts increasing as well. So you want to keep a steady speed more or less of 250 kilometers per hour indicated if you can. If not, at least try not to be close to the stall speed and try to keep it up. And don't ever use flaps, ever, because they destroy your aerodynamics. They create drag, and what you don't want in a plane that does have an engine which is dead is to add drag to it because you are never going to reach home. So that's how you do it. That's at least how you try to make it home. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So, yep, that's gonna be it for this week's Young with Ram. A slightly shorter version than other weeks, but well, don't forget to post your questions below and remember to upload those questions you want to see answered the most. And well, I'm going to leave this game up so you can see how it ended. Oh, games where someone quiz on you. Sucks, but well, now and then you are able to do something with it. You'll see how it ends. See you later. Yeah, well, in the end it was a draw. A game that I thought I was going to lose, especially after I was left alone by my quotes teammate. Anyway, now and then you can, well, do this kind of stuff. I hope you have fun, guys. See you later.